Ever since the UCI came to Geelong, I did my first article for the Lithuanian paper, which I called Vilnius, which is the capital city of Lithuania, to Murable Street, cycling the Lithuanian way.
That's brilliant.
And though I may not have been the most skilled journalist at the time, they liked my passion. So over the last 2 years, I've kept up to it to the point where I've become the chief sports writer of the paper, and now I've been selected as the media liaison for the tournament this month.
So I suppose for the years, I mean, I'm guessing you must be Lithuanian?
Half Lithuanian, that's correct. Lithuanian sports. Oh, that's the mother's side.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm guessing you're speaking the language to be able to liaise with the team?
I know some words, but it's more the sporting knowledge which is getting us through this week. Everyone's enthusiastic, and the hospitality from the Geelong Lithuanian community is outstanding. I must give them credit on air. That's all right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so the team is in town. How many people are on it?
Well, there are two teams. The sprint team with world record holders, they'll be arriving next week. But right now, the endurance team, they're staying in Grovedale. They arrived here 2 days ago, and it's an interesting story. The Geelong Lithuanian community got them a house for 2 weeks, filled the fridge with food, and when they opened it, some of them were half in tears because they said there has only been one ever time where this has happened to us, because Lithuania aren't quite the most economic country in the world. So the president of the Lithuanian community in Geelong, Stan Čižauskas, asked, well, when was the other time, just out of interest? And they said, that was the last time we came to Geelong. So that really shows how much the Geelong community's put into these events.
Well, and some of those Lithuanian families might not even be cycling enthusiasts.
Oh, the whole country, the motto is, we have two religions. One's the,
religious,
and the second is basketball. So everyone, any other sport is very hard to fit in. But the last 10 years, so many cycling stories have happened, such as 2 women's world road champions, one track champion. These are all female stories.
Good.
And also, do we have any Green Edge fans listening?
Oh,
no.
We will. All over the world. We're spreading life throughout the world.
Fantastic. Well, 2 years ago when the World Championships came into town, one cyclist was sorely disappointed that he couldn't make the 10, and now he's been selected from Lithuania to represent Green Edge.
Fantastic.
So is it, I'm guessing it's getting bigger over there. I mean, in Australia, obviously we've got, football and cricket, but Cadel Evans is still a household name. Do we have household names in Lithuania?
With the cyclists, females, yes, but the males, they still have to, keep pushing up the hill.
Usually it's the other way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Usually is.
I'm lucky to hear.
Oh, well, I'm looking at the smiles around us, alright. Yeah, but
I can't tell this is a female bunch, are you?
Yeah, come Tour de France, you'll have, for example, last year, while we're all, we had the Yell for Cadel, the only 2 Lithuanian cyclists, one came 170th and one came 156th.
Well, at least they finished.
Finished. However, when it comes to women's, for example, one cyclist, Rasa Leviete, she's come top 10 in the last 2 UCI roads. One 8th in Geelong, 9th in it was Denmark last year. Yeah?
Denmark, yeah.
So
it was in Denmark.
It shows how the females are progressing to household names. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
So that's really good to hear.
Good for the sport.
I think we'll keep him.
We could become a regular correspondent on the show.
Yeah, you're a cyclist yourself?
No.
Don't tell us you're a basketballer, please.
I'm actually just strictly sports journalist. I'd rather bring out the positive stories of others rather than attempt myself.
So you just purely got into this from being in touch with the team during the World Champs?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And since then, I brought some articles just to prove that I'm actually who I say I am.
And they're all in Lithuania.
And you got bylines in the paper.
Exactly.
I there's some English. I've read a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I write in English so that everyone in the community can understand. And basically, from the members that visited Geelong 2 years ago, we've had some participants in the Tour de France, like I said, the UCI both World and Track Championships, and also the Giro d'Italia, which is watched by millions throughout the world.
So when it comes to cycling in Lithuania, I mean, we were speaking just before with Melinda McLeod, it talked about the rivalry between, in BMX, it's more Australia and France and the US. I mean, does Lithuania have, another country where it's just on?
Ooh, that's a good question. The Lithuanian people were held against their independence from Russia for 50 years, so in cycling, basketball, soccer, whenever they defeat the Russians, though they try and be as political as possible on stage, with a simple clap, off stage, the party begins.
It's a bit like us in Britain, isn't it?
It was actually making me think of the Dutch with the Germans give us back our money.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm from.
Oh, there.
Oh, what is this?
Oh, and is there a particular cheer? I mean, like, obviously in Australia we've got the good old very language rich Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Of course, got
Boring.
Chile, it's not exactly amazingly exciting either. For Chile, for Poland, what do you cheer in Lithuania?
We have a cheer called Velo, and for those who were with me with the cheer squad at the Australian Open, we stand up, chests high, and it's Velo, cheers, Velo, 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 Velo. So it's kind of like an Aussie, oi, just, I guess not as poetic.
Does it translate into anything, or is it just like Aussie, oi, which is nothing?
Well, the word means good, so I guess for an Australian to translate, it's just good.
Yeah. And it's nice to the countries when it comes to sporting cheers just can't be bothered. That's what I'm learning. It's just like, yeah, we're winning. Oh, we better think of something.
Does this mean I've got a barrack for the Lithuanian teams up there on the track wheels, does it? This may be a problem.
No, you have to be non-biased, Heather.
Do I?
Well, you're a volunteer working at the event.
Well, I'm only in the accreditation centre, and you're in the
Media
press. Oh, well, yeah, but only my meet Alex there. She's promised me to come and translate if I get stuck.
Yes, perhaps.
If she's not busy translating Spanish people.
Oh dear, yeah, this will be interesting.
And possibly Japanese.
And of course, I'm not allowed to speak French or I get in trouble with my boyfriend.
What, he's going to be there?
Oh, no, I don't speak French with him, therefore if I speak it with people for work, I'm in trouble because I refuse to speak it with him, which makes it interesting. But we are talking about cycling, not me and my languages and things like that. So the Lithuanian cycling team, if people are sort of there going, what colours, what are we looking for?
Yeah,
do we know what their kit looks like?
Oh, well, their colours are yellow, the nation's colours are yellow, green and red, and in the basketball they're famous for just being green tops with a bit of the other colours, so the Green Army, whereas the cyclists, as we saw in Geelong 2 years ago, tend to bring out the yellow with a bit of red. And that's been shown on the podium with Simona Krupeckaitė, who along with Anna Meares from Australia, that's where the rivalry is on the track. So for me, living in Australia, working for Lithuania, I don't know who I'm going for.
Oh, and then throw Vicky Pendleton in there.
Oh yeah.
The Brit.
The Brit. She had some rivalry on in the track championships hosted in Poland. That of course was the championships where Simona got her second world record. I believe it was for the flying 500. And so just for the fact that a Lithuanian who has 2 world records in any sport is coming to the Melbourne and Geelong area, that's why we're here. And yeah, that's why we're going to cheer.
I think it's great because, I mean, when it comes to all the sport, I mean, in Australia, we don't really have Lithuania up there as a country to watch.
Never in cycling, ever.
Well, I mean, what other sports is there a big sort of between Australia and Lithuania?
Basketball, like I said, a few Olympics, Australia's been jumping for joy. The experts have been jumping for joy defeating Lithuania because they know how hard they are at basketball, whereas anyone watching at home from Australia think, well, here's a country the size of Tasmania geographically, the population of Melbourne, what's the big deal? So for basketball it's a big deal, but for cycling hopefully we can start an Australian rivalry and keep it going for the years to come.
We'll at least try to get this, we'll start small, we'll start in Geelong, cycling, in the track, we'll get the Geelong Australians Lithuania rivalry. Try to work that out.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
And I tell you what, I can't believe I've forgotten to mention this. For those that were at the Tour of Geelong last August, the women's winner, Rebecca Wisak, she's actually half Lithuanian herself, and her father Alex is the president of the Geelong Lithuanian sports community. So there's the little Geelong link right there for you.
That's a very good little Geelong link. I like that link. So the team that's over here at the moment, you said it's the endurance team.
The endurance team, that's correct.
Are they commuting up to train in Darebin on the indoor, or are they training around Geelong?
They've been training around Geelong, and they will be here until Saturday. And for those who are listening...
So that's Saturday next week?
Yeah, next Saturday, not today, sorry. And for those who are listening, if you want to meet the Lithuanian endurance team, and you are all welcome here in the studio, the Geelong Vytis Sports Club will be having a barbecue Friday night at Pettit Park. Sorry if I'm advertising without permission, but 6 o'clock, come on down, meet some potential, maybe we'll see them in the Olympics,
That'd be wonderful.
Try to spur them on. So bringing up the Olympics, this is getting a bit detailed, but do you know how many athletes from Lithuania have qualified for the Olympics? Do you know their Olympic hopefuls?
I know on the road cycling scheme, we have the Vytis. She, like I said, she's come top 2 in the last UCI Road Championships, and with the men for both track and road, there's a bit of work to do. But like you were talking about on your last interview, even the BMX cyclists have helped Lithuanian women stand up, as Simona Krupeckaitė claimed the most medals at last year's Summer Universiade for Lithuania. That's in any sport, claiming 2 silvers and 2 silvers in BMX.
Oh, I'm really quite curious. Why do you think that, as far as cycling goes, it's the women in Lithuania who are the men too busy playing basketball?
That's probably correct. I mean, with all the men in the country, all the men at about 6'3", 6'4", I suppose they've run out. They're too tired of making bicycles to cater for that side. So the women are like, well, we fit on them, so we'll give it a go, and we've produced all these world champions.
That's a good excuse.
Hang on,
That's what I've heard.
So we've got a country of 6'3" men.
Yeah.
Are we got a country of 5'11" women, or?
Well, Simona Krupeckaitė, because I'm not the tallest of men going around, I'm actually very excited that she'll be my height. So for once, when I interview a Lithuanian female athlete, I'll be able to look at her eye to eye. It's fantastic.
I think that's quite
And
amusing.
that's short. Well, I'm real short then.
Yeah, that's Lithuanians for you.
It's a bit the same in the Dutch, actually, with the Dutch guy. Because my cousin came over here to stay with us, and she said, I feel at home because of all my height. The average.
It must be the latitude of the...
I heard something recently that apparently Holland is actually the tallest country on average.
It was the second tallest.
Yeah,
but very tall.
The news might have. The reason why I heard it might have been the news that just taken. Possibly.
Okay, because a lot of the women are very tall there too. But yeah, she's just wrapped that.
That's so they can keep their head above the water.
That's probably right, Heather.
Someone was going to make a snide comment, wasn't they?
And wait for the sun to come out.
Yes.
I mean, they've got to reach for the sun usually. Otherwise, like Lithuania.
It's
a cold.
Well, I asked some friends who are studying there right now during our hot Aussie summer. I was just on a social network going, oh, it's 40 today, mate. How are you going? It's like, yeah, it's almost minus 40. Thanks for reminding me.
So they're reaching for the sun too. So like a plant, like a flower.
Reaching for the sun like a flat. What are you on about?
Well, that's why they're tall. They've got to reach for the sun.
This means this is why I'm short. I don't have to reach so.
That's exactly right. We get plenty of it. Yeah, back to cycling. It's really interesting though to hear the cycling news of the Lithuanian women.
Yeah.
We've got the plan.
Not that we're biased.
I knew nothing about Lithuanian cycling participation until about 3 years ago, and now I'm speaking on behalf of Lithuanians in Australia, so there we have it.
And are all of them based in Geelong while they're awaiting the...
Well, the world champion Simona Krupeckaitė, due to other commitments in other tournaments, she'll be heading straight to Melbourne on the day of the tournament. However, her trainers, her teammates, and even her masseur, who I might borrow halfway through the tournament if possible. No, just kidding. They're all staying in Geelong. They're looking forward to the barbecue this Friday night, 6 p.m. At Pettit Park, Belfast.
Darn, I've got 5 Brigade State Championships on.
I'll write you a note. I'll get you.
So, are you have you received? Are you expecting many media requests for the Lithuanian cycling team?
Well, the funny thing is, I do some work at the Geelong Advertiser, and I'm doing some work for the UCI. So the Geelong Advertiser have asked the UCI for a story, who have then asked me, who I've then asked the Addy. So it's a triangle of just news sourcing in and out. The UCI website's been very helpful, and hopefully you can see more through the Geelong Advertiser later this week.
So what's the work you're doing for the UCI? Is that, again, liaising with the Lithuanian team?
I'll be liaising throughout the tournament, sacrificing half my holidays, which isn't good for a year 12, but I'll still get into it. Yeah, also Delphi Sports, who are the #1 sports site in Lithuania, as the official Australian writer for them. I'll be contacting them every single result, so it's going to be a busy week.
This is all with Year 12 happening at the same time.
That's correct.
What a year for
So,
you.
I hope when you get up to High Sense Arena, you'll come and say hello to us all. She'll be there, I'll be there.
I'll have to bring a
She
few
won't, but-
Lithuanian scarves and wrap you girls up.
You will.
Yeah, that works for me, just so long as you're not offended when I take it off to interview Anna Meares.
I get some rivalry happening and see a reaction.
I don't have to interview anybody, I'll be fine.
It's actually good to hear about this, because I mean, because everyone asks Anna Meares about Vicky Pendleton, and you know, but to bring in other countries and instead of being like, so how was it against Britain? You know, knowing that particularly the women, well, how was it against Lithuania? Like they're coming up next or something.
Yeah, and with Krupeckaitė, who's her rival. See, to the Lithuanian people, Pendleton's just an amateur name compared to Anna Meares. I mean, it's Krupeckaitė and Meares. Those are the rivalry there. So that's your official cycling rivalry there. Pendleton, perhaps in the London Olympic, that's a possibility. But until then, we're targeting Meares. We're taking on Meares.
I just love hearing the different perspectives.
I
really, because I mean, for us, it's all about Pendleton.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not even going to try to say the name of your the rep on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm already pinching myself the fact that I'm approaching this, so see how it
That's
goes.
amazing.
So I'm assuming it's studying Year 12, hoping to get into journalism or something?
That's correct. Writing for the Lithuanian paper, having done stints at the Herald Sun, Geelong Advertiser, I'm hoping, and of course 94.7 the Pulse.
He has no trouble with interviews, does he?
No trouble.
I was actually more thinking he's got no problem with just rolling the name of the radio station off his tongue.
Well, that as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't pay you here.
Oh, that's alright.
Well, some of them
That's all I want.
No, we're all volunteers here at 94.7 The Pulse, bringing these shows to you for your listening enjoyment, to learn all about the fact that over in Lithuania no one cares about Vicky Pendleton. It's all about Anna Meares. I'm loving this. I'm totally loving this. Oh, I know, I just think it's great, because for once it's not about England.
Yes.
If you are enjoying these interviews and everything that we're bringing you, www.947thepulse.com or 52225947 during office hours is how you can subscribe. Thanks so much for coming into the studio, Alex.
No, thank you very much, and please keep up this great work.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
It's been great having you. We'll leave you with a short song at this moment. And right after this, make sure you do stick around, because Sports Saturday is on. We'll be back next week.
And it's almost 12 o'clock.